So tonight I'm going to open this Fossil First Edition booster box. I haven't bought one of these since 2017, and at that time this was a $1,000 box. I got this for $13,000 or $14,000 recently. Sealed product was made to be opened, so here we go. I am going to be weighing the packs. PSA shut down right now. For most grading services, the cheapest way to submit a card is $300 a card, but they are still taking packs, $25 a pack, where before the price increase it was $20 a pack, so that didn't get as substantial of a price increase as the cards. So I'm going to weigh these off screen, and I'm just going to be opening the 12 heavy packs and then grading most of the 24 light packs. So I have our 12 heavy packs here. For anyone curious, this box weighed out really easily in my experience, as Fossil used to when I opened it a few years back. All 12 of my heavy packs were 21.2 grams or higher. All 24 of my light packs were 20.9 grams or less. So I'm going to open these 12 packs and just be sleeving the holos as I go. I'll sleeve and probably grade, probably not the trainers, but almost anything, almost everything from these packs. I'm not going to be doing the pack trick or anything like that. My openings are going to be just fairly boring. There's a Hitmonlee, quite a bit of edge silvering there, if you can see it on the right side. Obviously there are some big hits in this set. This set's really nostalgic for me. I opened a lot of it when I was younger. Unlimited, not first edition. But it's got some really cool Pokemon in it. Some of my favorites. I really like Dragonite, Gengar, the legendary birds. You can't go wrong with them. We'll see what we get. Jungle has some big kind of common and uncommon hits, mostly common with Pikachu and Eevee. Fossil doesn't have anything that really stands out above the rest so much, but pretty nostalgic set overall. We've got a bit of silvering on the right side again. Left side isn't quite as bad. Centering's pretty good. I know that silvering, I experienced that a lot in jungle openings in the past. I never really had it so much with Fossil, but this is fairly faint. I don't think this would necessarily disqualify these cards from a 10, but due to other little minor issues, I don't think either of these would necessarily be a 10 so far. The back is pretty clean though on this one. Hitmonlee had a little, it's hard to see it, but it had a little issue on the bottom back left. With this set, it's crazy to think how big sets are these days. 200, 300 plus different Pokemon to chase, and so many ultra rares. And these sets back in the day were so simple. You had a 1 in 3 chance of getting a holo. Ooh, there's the big one, Dragonite. A fair bit more silvering on this one. I can see it left side, right side, a little bit on the top. But the holo looks pretty clean. This is the first time I've ever opened packs on video, so I'm trying to look at it not through the camera myself, but then I want to make sure you guys can see. The holo looks pretty clean on that. But yeah, new sets, you've got to open. I've opened 10 cases of new sets and not had every card. Whereas these old sets, I mean, there's 12 holos in a box, and there's only 15 holos in the set. This set specifically, Fossil. So you don't get the whole thing in one box, but you're pretty near to it. And opening a case back in the day, it would have been a near certainty that you'd get the whole set. Hypno. This one is probably the cleanest. It's got a little bit of silvering there on the left lower side. But overall, it's really clean holo again. Centering, it's a little bit high left. The left and top edges are a little bit thinner than the bottom and right. The back's pretty clean though. I mean, I think these are all, at a minimum, very solid 9s, given the situation with PSA right now. These might just be outbound to CGC anyways. I'm a big fan of their operation there, and I think they're going to be getting, ooh, Lapras. I think they're going to be getting slammed, kind of like, I mean, they have been. Their turnaround times have gone up, and their prices have as well, and I think they're on the same path to PSA if they don't take some drastic action price-wise. So Lapras, I remember, you can actually see already, right around there, there's a print line, and anybody who knows this set will know Lapras is one of the harder to get in PSA 10. I remember back in the day when I was opening these boxes, I think I did hit one. I was paying $500 or so a box, and Lapras alone was a $700 to $1,000 PSA 10. I don't even keep up with what they go for these days. I'm mostly a 9 collector. I still have my complete PSA 9 WOTC set, but that right there, this shows me that this card's going to be a 9 at best to start. You got a little bit of silvering, a little bit of top left shift as the Hypno had. This card, a little bit of whitening on the bottom back right. This one could be eligible for the dreaded 8.5 grade, honestly. Ooh, Moltres. So there's one of our legendary birds. Really clean holo. That's the biggest thing for me personally. I've always targeted 9s with a strong, clean holo, and a lot of people don't really care too much about centering, and I think PSA has really soft guidelines for what a 10. 60/40 to me looks visually unappealing. So I'm all about a clean holo, fairly centered, and then whatever's going on in the back I don't care too much about. And so most of the 9s in my collection will be their issues will tend to be little specks of whitening on the back. The edge silvering I'm not crazy about, but a lot of times you put it in a case and you don't even really notice it as much. My eyes get drawn to the art. That's what I care about the most. I don't view my slabs from the back, so whatever's going on back there, I'd rather have I mean, there are some 8s that are pack fresh, that are more visually appealing to me than some 10s that are a little bit off center or where they miss a print line or something like that. Oh wow, Gengar. There's a good hit. He's got a line there underneath his body. Pretty decent silvering. One of the worst ones I think so far in this box. I really don't remember any fossil boxes having this much silvering. And with these old boxes, when whatever you see out of the first pack, you kind of have that expectation that it's going to carry through the box. So unfortunately, I think this will be throughout all of our holos. Not unexpected at all. I'll have to look back. I know that I never opened anything on video years ago, but I probably opened 10 to 20 of these boxes at least. And every time I submitted the cards, I would have done them grouped together. So I could probably go back and I could probably find, oh, another legendary bird. Maybe we'll get the whole trio. I could probably go back and I could probably piece together every box that I opened. What I got as far as a 9% and a 10%, and I kind of think that I never had a box that didn't get at least 110, if I'm remembering correctly, but I could be wrong on that. This Articuno has a really, I was going to say it has a really clean holo, but it does have a little bit on his right wing, a little bit of a scratch, or yeah, I think that's more of a scratch than like a print line. But overall, it's pretty clean. One of my, oh yeah, the back's quite a bit more off center than the other ones were. That left border's a lot thicker, you can see. So, I mean, this is probably 8 to 9. Could pick up that dreaded 8.5 again, but still a nice, clean, pack fresh card, and one of my favorite species of Pokemon. Wow, back-to-back. Back-to-back Articunos. This one has a bit better foil, I think. There's a little, very faint. Yeah, right there. I think you can kind of see it. Very faint couple horizontal print lines going on. I feel like everything I've seen come out of this box, the back centering's worse than the front. But the backs have been really clean as far as whitening goes. A few of them have had that kind of rough cut that WOTC has occasionally on some of the corners. So I feel like just about everything in this box is going to be like a 9. I'm interested to see what CGC does with them. I'll probably just go that route because it's so cheap to grade with CGC, and I can't say that it's quick, but I won't be using their bulk service. I'll use one of the slightly higher tiers. Aerodactyl. But you can always spend 20 bucks grade with CGC. In the future, you can always crack and cross grade to PSA or whatever. Clean holo. Fair bit of silvering left and right. Top and bottom are relatively clean. There's a little bit of holo coming through. You can see right there. A little bit of holo coming through there. So, as I said, kind of the same condition carrying through every holo in the box. Something that kind of blows my mind, I haven't really been talking about values as we go because I honestly haven't been keeping up with these sets, but I came across a tote I had laying around with a bunch of PSA 9 of the commons and uncommons, and I sold those recently. Another Kabutops. I sold those recently for $50 and $60 a piece, and I mean those would have all been graded for sub $10, so it was a really good return as far as grading a couple dollar common and uncommon card, paying $10 to grade it, getting 50 back. with PSA prices recently being $20 a card, I mean, that would still be a very good margin for 9s, and I don't even know what 10s go for. High 2 digits, low 3 digits, I'm sure. But I'm really thinking whenever PSA comes back with their bulk service, it would not surprise me at all that these cards would become hard to grade, because back when I was opening these years ago, 10s were $15 to $30, I want to say, for a lot of these commons and uncommons, to where if you graded a 9, you lost money. You didn't get your grading fee back. If you graded a 10, you made a little bit of money. It sold slow. Not many people were buying these in 9s and 10s. So I think we're going to get back to a point. Ditto. I remember the first few PSA 10s I sold of Ditto. This was like a $50, $60 holo, and that's a PSA 10. And now the PSA 9 commons and uncommons are going for that, and I just don't think that's sustainable. That's a pretty clean holo. Left edge has the worst silvering. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not going PSA with these, but I think we've got a few 9.5s in here. Nothing jumps out to me as being any shot of the CGC 10, but I think that was a pretty good box overall. Would have been nice to not have such bad silvering, but here's a recap of our holos. I guess I'll throw them in alphabetical set order quick. But in any case, it was a very fun box to open, very nostalgic set for me. I tore through a lot of these boxes a few years ago to build my own 9 collection, and then just to fund my other collection goals, because it was a plus EV endeavor to open boxes back then. And honestly, at the price point that I got this box, right now light packs are going for about $400 a piece, and I paid roughly that extended out across 36 packs. But obviously I got 12 heavy packs with holos in them. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I don't know if I'll necessarily sell all these cards. Maybe I'll upgrade some of my personal collections PSA 9s to CGC 9s or 9.5s. But we'll see where it goes, and in either case, once it's done, I'll probably run the numbers